You're already a successful, powerful woman, but are your standards high enough to take you to your next level? Today, I'm going to share a precise tool with you that's going to help transform your success into unparalleled impact and possibilities for your life. Stay tuned. Welcome back, beautiful ladies. I'm Erin, a health empowerment strategist and holistic chef. And if you're like me, you're always looking for ways to tweak and take your life to that next level. I've worked for some really powerful executive women who are extremely successful in most areas of their life. But I could always sense there was this one thing they were struggling with that held them back from taking their already really successful life to that next level. I think it's really easy to delude ourselves into thinking, well, I'm already successful in X, Y, and Z areas of my life, therefore there's nothing left to upgrade. And there's always something that you can refine, tweak, take to that next level. And that's typically in relationships, health, whether that be your eating habits or your figure, and finances. And just because you're really successful in one area or many areas of your life doesn't mean you're not underperforming in one or more other areas. So how do you create lasting change? You raise your standards. And this beloved classic book by Tony Robbins, Awaken, the Giant Within, not sure if any of you have heard or read this book. It was a game changer for me, and I know it will be a game changer for you too. Robbins talks about 3 things in the book to create lasting change, and that first concept is you must raise your standards. Tony says he doesn't negotiate with himself, and when he said this on a podcast I heard a few years ago, he was referring to his really in-depth, intense morning routine, and admittedly, most of us don't have time or the access to all of the tools that he does to create this really profound morning routine. However, we can still apply the concept of tweaking our standards. So in order to raise your standards, you want to do the following 3 things, Tony said. Number 1, you want to write down all of the things you will no longer accept in your life. Number 2, you want to write down all of the things you won't tolerate anymore. And number 3, you want to write down all of the things you aspire to be or to become. The second concept in the book Tony talks about is change your limiting beliefs. Robbins emphasizes that limiting beliefs are created by fear and past experiences, but through conscious effort and new perspectives, you can eradicate them. Here are some examples of some limiting beliefs. I'm too old to start that, or I'm not smart enough to do that. Success is only for lucky people. There's a quote by Richard Bach that I really like. Argue for your limitations, and sure enough, they're yours. You need to start thinking about what are you surrounding yourself with that support your limiting beliefs. Maybe you're in a relationship with someone who always undermines you, and what does that do? That supports your limiting belief if you have this belief that you're not smart enough, you're not capable enough to do this task. Or maybe you've put yourself in a position at work where you want to be doing more, but you're too afraid. You don't think that you'll be able to handle the task at hand, so you stay in a lower position and you never let yourself rise to the occasion and show your boss, hey, I am more capable of this. In essence, you're holding yourself back. We need to identify and challenge our limiting beliefs and replace them with empowering ones that support and foster growth and new possibilities. The third concept Tony talks in the book to create lasting change is you must address your strategies. In order to keep your commitment, you need the best strategies for achieving your results. If you set a higher standard and get yourself to believe, then you can figure out the strategies. So how do you guarantee accomplishment? Robbins lays this out in 4 precise ways. He says there's nothing you can't accomplish if 1, you clearly decide what it is that you're absolutely committed to achieving. 2, you're willing to take massive action. 3, you notice what's working or not. And 4, You continue to change your approach until you achieve what you want using whatever life gives you. Robbins says to ensure long-term happiness, you must use whatever you have in the moment. I think very often it's easy to say, once I have this, once I achieve that, once I get this, then I'll be happy. It doesn't work like that. Try as you may. I think we're all guilty of that. You truly do have to use what you have in the moment. So how do you actually change? You have to talk about why someone isn't changing even though they should. And there's two concepts behind this. One, they associate more pain to making the change than to not changing at all. And two, people will do more to avoid pain than they will to gain pleasure. So you want to ask yourself pain-inducing questions. Here's an example. What will this cost me if I don't change? Maybe that will cost you your relationship, whatever that change may be. Maybe that's losing weight or not taking an interest in what your partner is interested in, whatever it may be. What is it going to cost you? Is it going to cost you your relationship? Is it going to cost you your health? Is it going to cost you your relationship with your children? Ask yourself, what is this costing me emotionally, financially, spiritually? Then you want to ask yourself positive associating questions to help link positive sensations. Ask yourself, if I change, what kind of momentum could I create in my life? Or how much happier will I be if I make this change? Also, if I do change, how will that make me feel about myself? It's all about asking yourself, how can I turn X around, take it to the next level, and cause it to have even more impact than it ever has in the past? Whether you're a longtime fan of Tony Robbins or this is the first time you've heard of him, I hope these three concepts helped shed some light as to how to actually create lasting change in your life. Thanks for tuning in, ladies. I'll see you next time.